Hey, welcome back to my channel Duct Tape Mechanic and to another episode of my series Free on Facebook, a series of videos in which I repair, repurpose, or recycle things I find for free on Facebook Marketplace. In this video, I got this Kenmore 100 series washer that continuously drains and it won't advance to the spin cycle. So in this video, we'll be repairing this. So if you like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more DIY and tinkering videos. So here's the washer that I picked up, and basically what's happening is that it won't go from rinse to spin. Instead, the drain pump, you can hear the drain pump running. It's just this constant humming noise, and it's just stuck in that phase. Typically, I like to show the problem as it occurs, but I actually had to go ahead and fix the issue before shooting the video because it was a little bit of an oddball fix to this, and I haven't come across this issue all that often, so I went ahead beforehand and I already fixed it, so I can't go back and reverse my fix. But I'll show you what I did, so if you have this problem, maybe you can solve it as easily as I did once I figured it out. Initially, when the drain was just continuously running, I thought it was an issue with the control board, with the relay being stuck or something like that, so I went ahead and was troubleshooting that first. But the smart thing to do actually would have been what I did second after all that was put this into diagnostic mode and see what the code was. And when I did that, it was a code for an issue with the pressure system. So there's a pressure hose, and that's essentially what helps the washing machine tell what the water level is in here. So it could be a kink in the hose or a slight leak or something like that, and I'll show you how to get access to it, and a quick troubleshooting tip you could do to potentially repair the hose that's on the machine without having to buy a new one. But if you want to know how to get this into diagnostic mode, there's a lot of good videos on there, but I'll just show you real quick as well. All you basically do is just rotate it counterclockwise twice to reset it. Then you do 3 clicks clockwise, 1 counterclockwise, then 1 back clockwise. Then I'm going to do 3 clicks to the right, 1, 2, 3, 1 to the left, back to the right, and we're in the diagnostics mode. So all the lights should be lit up, and I highly recommend using diagnostics, particularly if you have a washer that's called a pause play type of washer. It has lights right here and it has a button right here. That's a good way to figure out what's going on without diving too far into the situation, or if you're kind of new to the washers and dryers. I mean, it won't tell you exactly what to fix and what to look for, but it'll help you. It'll tell you if there's a pressure issue or something like that, and you can kind of decipher, is it the hose, or is it the pressure sensor, or is it the board? Alright, so then to go into diagnostics mode, you do one more click, and then you hit enter, and that'll take you into the diagnostics mode, and then the error codes will pop up as you move on. Like I said, I'll show you what the error code for pressure hose looks like. And the code that I pulled up was the F3E1 code. So that's a issue with the pressure sensor, and so we're going to try to solve that next. So that's once you put this into diagnostic mode, first the sensing light comes on with the spin and complete, then the second blink is just a complete. So it's that's F3E1. So let's just say you don't want to put it in diagnostics, or it's too confusing. But if you do have this issue of if it's just continuously draining and it won't go into the spin cycle, just follow this really simple procedure and see if it fixes the issue, because it's not going to harm the washing machine at this point anyways. So to get to the pressure hose, that's what's causing this issue, is that either there's a leak, or if there's a kink in there, or if there's a slight, if it's not seated in to the board correctly or to the tub correctly, it can cause a slight leak. So all you need to do is just take off this panel first, the control board panel, and after that we'll just take this back panel off, and we can get access to the pressure hose. What we'll be doing is we'll be unhooking it and then just clipping off the ends of it, and then also at the same time making sure there's no kinks or anything like that in the hose. Alright, so with the back panel screws taken off, we can just pull it up and set it aside. We'll leave the drain hose hooked up, so we won't be able to take it off completely, but just kind of move it out of our way for now. It should be okay there. So this is the pressure hose that's in question right here. And if none of these repairs work on it, I highly recommend just swapping it out with a new hose. But before doing that, the easy fix, or what I did was I pulled it from here and I just clipped off maybe this much of it, from so about the amount that goes on to the barbed fitting right here is what I clipped off on the previously. So I've already clipped this off, and it makes that connection nice and secure, because I suspect that's what's going on. And then you can also, as you work your way up the pressure hose, just make sure it's not kinked up anywhere, so that looks good. And then do the same thing for the side that goes into the pressure sensor as well. So what I did, I pulled that off there, and then I clipped off maybe that much of the hose. So I've already done that, and I don't want to clip off more just for demonstration purposes, but that'll make sure that that connection on the pressure sensor right here and at the bottom of the tub is secure. So is more nice and tight, I should say. So as you can see, it's a little bit of resistance going in while I feed it back into there. And I did notice that initially the part that goes into the pressure sensor right here was really loose, and I was able to just give a slight tug and it came off. So I suspect that's what was giving the issue, the air for the pressure hose, and that was given our symptoms of the washer continuing to just drain and not complete the cycle. Particularly, it was not going into the spin cycle. It was just turned the drain on, and I think that's just kind of a safety mechanism to make sure your water doesn't overflow, because this is how the machine senses the water level, is based on the pressure in this hose sent back to the pressure switch. So yeah, so that's basically it. You just want to clip the ends of the pressure hose. One end is going into the board right here, and the other going into the tub right here, and check for any kinks along the way. And if that doesn't work, go ahead and replace the hose, and that should solve the issue right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slap everything back together, and we're going to give this a test run. Alright, so I got it hooked up to my test station, and I'm washing a load of my laundry in here. I bypassed the lid switch, and as you can see, it's running really good. One thing I forgot to mention that I did was after unhooking the pressure tube from the pressure sensor on the control board, I clipped it. Then I also blew into it, and you can use a compressor if you don't want to blow into it, but what that does is that forces air into the tub, and that'll clear out any sort of dirt or grime buildup that could be causing the pressure switch and pressure tube not to function correctly, because it uses the air pressure from the water being filled to sense how much water is in that tub. So sometimes dirt or grime can build up inside that little bubble on the bottom of the tub that the pressure hose sticks into, and that can cause issues. So I recommend also, after you clipped off that little piece at the pressure sensor, go ahead and blow into it for maybe like 15 or 20 seconds, and that'll clear out anything in there. You can also use an air compressor. So yeah, so right now it's in the wash cycle. I'll come back one more time after it's advanced to the spin, because that's when the issue was occurring, and we'll see if it continues to drain or if it works okay. Alright, machine has now advanced to the spin cycle, which it wasn't doing before. It was just getting stuck in the rinse, and the pump would come on and just continue to drain. But as you can probably hear, it's spinning, and as you can see, it certainly is. Alright, so hopefully this was an easy enough fix that you can do yourself without having to buy any parts at all. All you have to do is just clip the ends of the pressure hose and blow it out from the pressure sensor side, and that should hopefully resolve your issue. And if it does, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign, and stay tuned for more videos.